Hello and welcome back to Two Blokes from Blighty. My name is Joe, but before we get into today's episode, we have a very special shout out. I would like to shout out Tim.
What?
I'm going to shout out you, Tim. Do
Oh,
you know why? Because this
don't make
is a
me
surprise that I've not mentioned to you previously.
don't make me do an ad read live on air.
Well, that was the plan.
Oh.
Tim, this episode, I've done the maths, and by that I mean I've counted our episodes. This is episode 100.
Woo! Wow!
100 episodes
Wow!
of us.
I said there's more.
100 episodes of me and you talking absolute shite on Two Blokes from Blighty. Tim, I'm not going to ask you to do a live read, but I am going to ask you for your top 3 Two Blokes from Blighty moments.
Top 3 Two Blokes from Blighty moments. That's a very good question.
Would you like me to tell you mine while you think of yours?
I mean, oofty. I know I've got one, and that's oofty goofy, just because of your pure reaction of joy for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good one. Come on.
Shitting on a toilet seat.
Spot. Shitting on a toilet seat is one of mine.
Japan.
Japan. The Japan episode.
Yeah. What about you?
That's a good one. So shitting on a toilet seat is my one. We really need to do a new advert, by the way, because I'm sure it says 3 series and we're on series 10.
Oh, yeah.
So,
A little out of date. Maybe.
Yeah, so shitting on a toilet seat, number 1. Number 2 is the story about when you woke up in your old Chichester house covered in gold. And
oh, yeah.
Where you came from.
I thought I died.
Thought you died. And the third one is when we stopped doing that stupid fucking cryptocurrency thing. And we found out that you made, what was it, 38p over 10 years.
There was that, but then I forgot to withdraw it and made 200.
You didn't. You
I did.
Absolute bullshit.
No, I'm pretty sure I have a screenshot.
It's a waste of time.
I'm pretty sure I have a screenshot of it.
You told me that you withdrew it and you got paying an expansion of The Sims with it.
Yeah, that was the original plan, then I forgot to.
Unbelievable. Anyway, happy 100th episode.
100 episodes, baby.
Time for 100 more. Let's get into the episode.
And I said, park your car and come on up to my house. We'll plan the revolution. This is Tim from Two Blokes from Blighty, and I'm joined by my brother, Joey Fitz.
Welcome to the Two Blokes from Blighty Revolution. Order number 1. If you're going to plan a revolution, don't do it with me and Tim.
No.
Tim,
I'll
how
sort the
are
funding.
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. It feels good to be back on our Wednesday schedule.
Yeah.
It feels good. Tim, we always start these episodes in exactly the same way. Whether or not it's a 100th episode special or not, I want us to start with our pub quiz question of the week.
Pub quiz question of the week. Not a jingle. That's a sound effect at best.
What we have there is a fucking jingle, Tim.
The soundboard is dying due to overuse over 100 episodes.
I know someone who's going to be using the assets folder rather than the raw recording.
Mm-hmm.
That's this guy.
Pub quiz of the week. As I start with every episode, I give Joey a series of pub quiz questions, and he'll keep getting answers until he can't get one, and then that's our pub quiz of the week. Sound good?
Sounds amazing.
Cool. Joey, what was the name of the Greek mythological figure who flew too close to the sun with wings of wax, leading to his downfall?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, you got this.
It's on the back of my lungs.
I'm gonna keep.
I know this. I know this.
You do know this.
No, I'm having such a blank. It's ridiculous.
Surely that's not our quiz of the week?
Well, no, because I know the answer.
Come on.
I'm
I could
I'm
see you possibly Googling.
I'm cheating. I know this, and when I see it, I'm going to be really in Icarus.
Yep, there you go.
I am really annoyed at myself because I knew Icarus flew too close to the sun.
Which Roman goddess is associated with love, beauty, and is often depicted with a shell and a mirror?
Athea?
It's not Athea. We're going to come back to it at the end of the episode.
I think that's another one that I know, but I might have just got a bit stupid.
Interestingly, not only does this quiz that I've got here give me the Roman answer, which is what the question asked for, but it also gives me the Greek answer. So I'll accept either
What's
one of them.
I don't know.
Love,
Athea.
beauty, depicted with a shell and a mirror.
Athea.
It's not Athea. All right,
Are
well,
you
we'll come back to
sure?
the end of the episode.
Okay, fair enough. Tim, episode 100 of Two Blokes from
Yeah,
Blighty comes out on the 4th of June.
that's her 100th birthday.
Do you think I'm going to put little crowns, paper pixel crowns on our thumbnail?
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Do you think that the soundboard bot can keep up with our Wednesday jingle?
Probably not. We'll see.
Tim and Joey talking loud. Holidays that make them proud. Calendar check every week. Which day holds the peak? Valentine's is on a pivot. Christmas Eve sometimes hits it. New Year's Eve can be found smiling on a Wednesday round. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to shake the mood. Celebrate whatever's there. Make the middle week a fair.
It did not cope.
It did not cope. So, Tim,
Yeah.
Wednesday, the 4th of June. We're into
Oh.
June already. Can you believe it?
How exciting.
There's a few options here. There's a few bad options. There's no good options.
Okay. All right. Can I
So-
propose a day?
Do not suggest Two Blokes from Blighty Day
How did you know?
because it was so obvious. It
But
was
the audience
annoying.
could tell us what their favourite moments were, what
Yeah,
their least
let's-
favourite were.
Well, okay, let me go through the days, and if you think none of them are suitable, then we'll do Two Blokes from Blighty Day, okay?
Sick.
So, National Old Maids Day.
Nah.
No. To recognise the women who never marry and remain childless.
Nah.
No. National Cheese Day.
Oh, come on. I love cheese. I love cheeses. I love a cheese board.
What's your favourite cheese?
I like a brie. I'm a big old brie guy.
Not even Wensleydale.
I do like a Wensleydale, but if you put some brie on a cracker with a bit of honey, mon ami.
You know this whole joke where I say you're a massive Tory?
Yep, and it's leaked into the rest of the Discord.
How does it feel when you say things like, if you put a bit of brie on a cracker with some honey, mon ami?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I like brie as well. Brie's good.
Yep.
That's how you say it without being a massive Tory, Tim.
Just put it on a cracker and put some honey on it, and you'll start speaking French.
No, I won't. I'll start spitting on the paw like Tories do.
I don't.
Tim,
spit
then
on the
it's
paw,
National
and I'm not a Tory.
National Cognac Day.
Nah.
No. National Safe Day.
Just a day to be safe, or a day celebrating safes.
Um,
I would argue you should be safe every day.
National Safe Day holds the power to prevent tragedy from repeating itself. 1 in 3 households in the United States has a gun stored somewhere inside.
God. Okay.
It's basically to celebrate responsible gun ownership and so that your child doesn't go through and shoot your family with all your guns that you've hidden.
But if you have a gun, you should probably be exercising responsible gun ownership anyway.
I would guess, because we live in that country where them guns aren't allowed.
Mm-hmm. Except for what war Rozzers have got.
What the bloody feds have.
Appeal.
The old 5-0. They I would guess that a fair amount of people who own firearms do not practice responsible gun ownership.
I would say a notable percentage of them probably don't.
1%'s too many.
Yeah.
But, that's different topic. Let's park that. National Safe Day.
Okay. All right.
National Clean Beauty Day.
Clean beauty.
Beauty products that are sustainable. Would you believe that this was put together by a company that sells all natural beauty products?
We just got done with the episode of Arrested Development where Lindsay ends up buying the face cream that's got diamonds in it.
Arrested Development's so good.
It's fantastic.
It's too good, actually.
Yeah.
Just so good. Any feelings on that?
Nah.
No. National Hug Your Cat Day.
I can get down with that. I can get. I'm not the biggest cat guy, but cats seem to like me, so I guess.
Are you a pussy magnet, Tim?
I'm a big old post magnet.
How does it feel knowing that you've said that and that'll be in the airways forever?
Put it on the tombstone. It's practically a part of my legacy.
Nice. Right. That's all of the days, and then you got 2 Blokes from Blighty Day.
On a personal level, I'd love to go with Cheese Day.
You big old puss magnet, you.
Yep, that's me. I want to go with Cheese Day out of them, and I'm saying that because I know you don't want to do 2 Blokes from Blighty Day.
I'd love to do 2 Blokes from Blighty Day, but
Oh.
you got too excited about it, and my job here is to kick down any enthusiasm that you might display
with your proverbial cattle prod.
With my big old sadness Doc Martens stomping on any joy that you may display on this podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Kicking it down.
I'm going to go with Cheese Day.
Yeah?
So I want the audience
over 2 Blokes from Blighty Day. On our 100th, Tim.
Fine, we're doing 2 Blokes from
No.
Blighty Day.
I don't want to influence you. I'm gonna, but I don't want to.
We'll do 2 Blokes from Blighty Day.
But you would choose, Tim, between us, I think we've put into this podcast more than 4 days of our human lives straight in hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you would rather choose a shitty little board of wood with some cheap ass actually it's you. So with some Waitrose cheeses on.
Don't shop at Waitrose.
With some Waitrose cheeses on because you like cheese.
I do love cheese. But yeah, we'll do 2 Blokes from Blighty Day, and I want the audience to tell us the best and worst moments from the show.
Yeah. Okay, one best, one worst in our Discord.
There you go. Done.
What's your worst, Tim?
Worst moment. The moment we realized the soundboard bot started to go out.
Yeah, the death of the soundboard bot. Definitely one that is that's not that bad.
It's just more annoying more than anything.
We've had some ropey moments. The election weird history was a tough listen.
That's okay. That's the one I'm going with.
What about the whole episode where everything I said got distorted because my gain was too high on the microphone?
That was fine. I'll take that over the poor election story because it was boring more than anything.
Okay, cool. And shitting on a toilet seat's my favourite.
That's a peak moment.
It is peak.
Season
Tim,
1, baby.
One of my favourite things that we did with 2 Blokes from Blighty was sack off the crypto section.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my other favourite things that we did was bring in the fucking joke section.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
There you go. Tim, this is our joke of the week section where we come at each other with hilarious jokes.
Whoa.
And, well, I do, and you bring that stupid book that has never won you around. Tim has brought a book with jokes in that he's crossing off one by one, but every time he turns to a new section, is wildly inappropriate. So, what wildly inappropriate section have you found today, Tim?
Sex.
Nice. Okay. The idea here is to make each other laugh. We've done this a lot, not 100 times, but close to. If you don't know the deal by now, welcome to your first episode of Two Blokes from Blighty. Tim, I'm going to let you go first.
I'm trying to find one that's not deeply offensive in modern culture.
Just say them. Do you want me to bleep all of yours?
Nah, it's fine. What is this one? I think you'll find that any of my lady companions will tell you that I'm a 5 times a night man. I really shouldn't drink too much tea before I go to bed.
Do you not like winning these things? Or
Just picked randomly from the list.
okay. My daughter was doing history homework, Tim, and she asked me what I knew about Galileo, and I said he was a poor boy from a poor family.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, it's a reference to Metallica, I think.
Sorry. Whoa. Metallica.
No, it's Queen. Of course, it's Queen.
Metallica.
Queen.
Okay,
Oh
right.
my god.
Sorry,
That's the
Queen.
joke of the week.
Go off,
Jesus.
You're the fucking joke of the week. Go off, Queen. Your turn.
When I was young, my sister used to play with dolls and I play with soldiers. Now we do it the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep.
My wife said, "Don't get upset if someone calls you fat. You're much bigger than that."
Brilliant. I'm going to move away from the sex section because it sucks. Don't spend money on having your shirts laundered. Donate them to a charity shop, and when they've cleaned them, buy them back.
Okay. Great.
More of a terrible life pro tip.
What do you call a French guy that's been mauled by a lion?
Go on.
Lord.
That's really good. That nearly got me. Nearly got me.
Okay.
A husband gives his wife a complete mink outfit for her birthday, a 12-bore shotgun and some traps.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. I went for a job interview today at IKEA.
Oh, yeah?
The manager said, "Come in, sit down, make a seat."
Good.
Flatback joke.
Yep. And you know I love IKEA.
Oh, Tim. IKEA might be the best shop in the world.
It's phenomenal. I love IKEA so much.
Any shop with a one-way system
Magnific.
is the shit.
A teacher says to one of their students, "How did you manage to get so many things wrong in a day?" And the student says, "I start early."
I hope this book didn't cost you much.
No, it was 90p. Might have even been
Shows.
50p.
Oh, do you want another IKEA joke?
Absolutely.
Tim, breaking news. The CEO of IKEA has just been elected the Prime Minister of Sweden. First thing he'll do is assemble his cabinet.
I think I've done that one before.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. 2 people are speaking, and one of them says, "I follow the medical profession." And the second guy says, "Are you a doctor?" And the first man says, "No, I'm an undertaker."
How do you know you're getting old?
Go on.
Your back goes out more than you do.
Yeah. It's
Hmm.
apt. There's a sign in a baker's window that says, "Cakes like your mum used to make, £2. Cakes like she thought she used to make, £5."
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Tim, I've got some really controversial opinion for you here now.
All right.
Women should not have kids after 36.
What?
That's just way too many kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you know where I got that one?
Where?
You know those 2 guys on TikTok that say Da Vinci?
Oh, those guys?
They tweeted it, and I thought it was really funny.
Brilliant. Why did the centipede get dropped from the insect football team?
I don't know.
Spent too long putting on his shoes.
Okay.
Yep.
Tim,
Yep.
you're going to have to let me know about this one.
I think I've found the worst section of Two Blokes from Blighty, by the way. It's this fucking book.
Okay, Tim, you're going to have to let me know about this one.
Yep.
How does a Muslim close a door?
How?
He slams it.
All right. Fine. Fine. That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
So, joke of the week is how does a Muslim close a door? He slams it.
There you go. All right, good.
Tim, you
Yeah.
promised me a corker for Weird History.
Yeah.
You said to me, if anyone doesn't like this, they can stop listening to Two Blokes because they must be fucking morons.
They can fuck off.
Tim didn't say that.
History.
But I said that.
I was going to make that same joke.
Hmm.
This is starting off pre-1940s, right?
Connecticut?
Not Connecticut. William Veek Sr., father of Bill Veek, is a sports writer who offers critical commentary on how he would run the Chicago Cubs better than the current owner.
Forget about it.
We're now jumping into the 1940s.
Okay.
Yep. The owner of the Chicago Cubs offers William Veek Sr. the position of president of the team, I guess after reading all the articles. A young Bill Veek works various jobs on the Cubs, including popcorn vendor, groundskeeper, ticket salesman, and starts to learn the business of baseball. We're doing
Okay.
another baseball story.
Baseball seems to attract you and Weird History.
In 1937, Bill Veek became the club treasurer for the Chicago Cubs, and he proposes growing ivy on the outfield wall.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's like a particular icon of the Chicago Cubs stadium. Not sure.
You're an icon of Chicago Cubs Stadium, Tim.
Forget about it. Stop. 1941, Bill Veek partners with Charlie Grimm to buy the AAA Milwaukee Brewers. Veek implements unique and wild promotions, including giving away live animals like pigs, lobsters, pigeons, chickens, guinea pigs, and swayed back horses. But most promotions are not announced in advance to create surprise. So essentially, they're being like, there could be a promotion that could happen today. You'll only find out if you go to the game. Sure.
Quite like that. That's quite good.
That's fun. During World War II, Veek schedules morning games for overnight war plant workers and serves them breakfast, in particular, cornflakes. We're not going back to the Kellogg story, though, don't worry.
Circular hell again.
Veek also starts offering to hold weddings at the home plate. And the Milwaukee Brewers are so successful under Veek's ownership, he wins 3 pennants in his first 4 years as club president. Pretty successful. Veek then sells the Milwaukee Brewers for a $275,000 profit,
Nice.
which is not bad.
That's
then
big money in those days, right?
It's quite a lot, yeah. But then he enlists in the war, and he's assigned to an artillery unit in the Pacific. And while he's in the Pacific,
immediately dies.
He doesn't die here. He is hit in the leg by a recoiling artillery piece, and it results in his foot needing to be amputated. So he's in baseball, not football. So that's a good thing, right?
I mean, you still need your legs and or feet to play baseball, Tim. It's not just the swingy bit that they do. They also do the runny between the squares on the floor bit.
And the throwy bit, which is also
they do the throw and the catchy bit.
That's
but the
also
throwy
arms.
and the catchy bit could be arms. The runny between the platey bits is very much legs and feet. Not that we're ableist on here. I would say baseball is ableist.
Bill Veek forms a group to buy the Cleveland Indians, acquiring a 30% share and entering Major League Baseball. Other baseball owners, though, expressed disapproval of Veek's unconventional promotion styles. The Yankees general manager vetoes a baseball cap giveaway, for example.
Okay.
Veek continues his promotions, however, moving the team to a bigger stadium, removing the door from his office, and lists his home phone number in the phone book to call him.
I like it.
That is brave.
Veek's got balls. I like balls.
Veek, where was I? Oh, yeah. Veek's leg condition unfortunately worsens around this time, and he ends up having to have an amputation above the knee. You're doing
Dead.
He's not dead.
Yeah.
Not dead. But in 1946, Veek signed Larry Doby, the American League's first ever black player, which is cool. Veek removes the Cleveland Indians players who refused to shake Doby's hand. Great.
Good boy, Veek.
Veek hires Max Patkin, known as the Clown Prince of Baseball, as the Indians' third base coach. Despite his lack of baseball knowledge, he was hired for entertainment purposes. The American League,
the Clown Prince.
Yeah. The American League owners are furious at this.
Oh.
But in 1948, the Cleveland Indians not only are successful throughout the season, they end up reaching the World Series, and Veek's promotions and the team's success lead to an attendance record for the league. Veek sells single game World Series tickets, making games more accessible, and the Indians actually ended up winning the World Series that year.
Veek sounds like the boy.
Veek is a baller. But now we're going to move
wait till he does something horrific and I have to hate him.
We're now going to move into the 1950s, starting with 1949 in my notes.
Okay, cool.
The Cleveland Indians finished third and are eliminated from the playoffs, and Bill Veek stages a funeral in the stadium on the day of the elimination and buries the 1948 World Series flag. The players are furious.
No. Veek sounds like he's just here for a good time, not a long time.
I think he is too. But then needing money because of a divorce, he ends up selling the Cleveland Indians, and Bill Veek ends up buying the St. Louis Browns. On the first night of his Browns ownership, Veek gives a free beer or soda to every single person in the stadium.
Does Veek hate money?
I think he might.
Okay.
But seeking a truly spectacular promotion, he sends a baseball player, Eddie Gaedel, standing at a mighty 3'7", to pinch hit in a game. Oh right, to pitch against the Detroit Tigers. The umpire demands a contract with which the Browns manager provides, providing Gaedel's legitimacy as a player. Gaedel walks on all 4 pitches due to his tiny strike zone.
Yeah, that's a genius.
Yeah. 5 days after
if every one of your players has a minuscule strike zone and they just get hit constantly, you just walk runs.
Yeah.
First inning, you'd be like 40-0 up.
5 days after the Eddie Gaedel promotion, Vic holds a grandstand manager night where fans in a specific section would use yes or no cards to make calls while the manager sits in a rocking chair.
Fuck. Veek's gone from funny owner to the Price is Right contestant. It's mental.
The Browns won that game.
Jesus.
Vic attempts to move the St. Louis Browns to Baltimore, but fellow owners veto the move, who dislike and oppose Vic on near enough every decision.
I mean, I kind of get it.
Veek faces financial difficulties with the Browns selling players, his ranch, and even the stadium becoming a tenant. And by the last game of the season, the team had run out of baseballs and has to use scuffed practice balls in the games.
Wowzers.
Vic then ends up selling the St. Louis Browns to a Baltimore syndicate, and the owners immediately approve the team's move to Baltimore. Vic attempts to buy other baseball teams such as the A's, the Tigers, and even the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, but is unsuccessful in buying back into baseball. However, an opportunity arises in Chicago as the White Sox ownership is in disarray following the owner's death and her children fighting for control. So after 2 years of legal battles, Bill Vick forms a consortium and buys a majority controlling stock of the Boston White Sox from the owner's daughter.
Okay, now we're talking.
Now we're talking. It's at this point I should probably highlight as well that this story was actually submitted to us by the lovely Josh from Talking Smack of
Forget
Chicago
about
fame.
it. What a guy.
What a guy.
Of Chicago fame.
On his first day as the Sox owner, Vic invites sports writers and offers them 54% of a cup of coffee.
What?
Because he bought 54% of a controlling share.
But he doesn't give him a whole cup of coffee.
No, he gives them 54% of a cup of coffee each.
Can I just say that Vic sounds mental?
He sounds fun. 1959, at the White Sox home opener, Vic sets off fireworks and gives all 19,000 fans a free beer and gives away orchids on Mother's Day, where one fan received in, it's in quotes, where one fan in the lucky chair received 36 live lobsters. They also gave out 1,000 cans.
You'd be going to the games going, fucking over in the lucky chair.
They also gave out 1,000 cans of beer, 1,000 pies, 1,000 cupcakes, 1,000 free dinners. They also hold 3 days for cab drivers and bartenders. And when fans boo an outfielder named Al Smith, Vic gives everyone named Smith a free ticket as Al Smith's guest.
Oh, that's great. Do you know what? I'm back on side. Vic's great.
Comiskey Park sets an attendance record for the stadium that year. If anything, what I'm finding out here is that Vic is a fantastic promoter.
He's great at marketing.
So we're going to jump into the 60s. Bill Vic adds players' names to the back of their road uniforms or like their away shirts, if we're going to use a football term. A practice that eventually becomes the standard in baseball. They're just
were
wasn't the
they
case
on
before.
the home shirts?
Not at the time.
Oh, so why only on the away shirts?
I guess so fans know, or the away audience attendees know who they are.
Okay.
Maybe. Don't know. Interesting next sentence. Vic then builds an exploding scoreboard that features sound effects of cavalry charges, machine gun fire, train crashes, subway screeches, jet bombers, and a woman screaming, "Firemen, please save my child." The opposing players are enraged.
I like it.
Due to Bill Vic's health declining, though, due to heavy smoking and leading to frequent bouts of coughing and sometimes passing out, doctors advise Bill retire. Vic sells off his share to the White Sox, retiring at age 47, but he writes in his autobiography, "I'll be back." 1970.
He was.
He was. 1970, he attempts to buy his way back into baseball, trying to purchase teams in Washington and the Baltimore Orioles, but is unsuccessful. Vic testifies in a player lawsuit against the league and calls the player situation human bondage. Not quite sure what that's in reference to. But in 1975, the Chicago White Sox are once again up for sale due to the owner being close to bankruptcy and the team performing poorly and the surrounding neighborhood deteriorating. The team is on the verge of being moved to Seattle. Bill, now 61, forms a group of 40 investors and submits a bid to buy the White Sox. The American League owners actually reject the bid, citing a number of owners involved, but it's widely believed that they simply didn't want Vic back.
But he's great.
He is great, and he seems to drum up a lot of money, but he also seems to be a fucking HR nightmare for them.
Yeah.
Vic ends up taking this on the chin and secures even more funding, but his bid is voted down again by the American League owners. Now, the American League owners face a dilemma. They don't want the White Sox to go bankrupt or to move, and the Detroit Tigers has expressed its dislike for Vic, but acknowledges that they need to take another vote because they need to do something. And Vic's bid is approved, and now he has 54% of the White Sox again.
Does he invite everyone around for half a cup of coffee again?
It's a little over half.
Yeah.
Upon hearing of a successful bid, Bill Vic kicks his prosthetic leg above his head and covers himself in cigarette butts.
Yeah, okay.
What a move. Vic
That's
immediately...
what I do when I'm happy as well.
Vic immediately sets up a table in a hotel lobby where baseball winter meetings are being held and spends 14 hours making trades in front of the public. Other owners, including Bud Selig, are furious.
Yeah, I mean, you would be.
Free agency is introduced into baseball around this time, allowing players to earn significantly more money and limit teams' control over them. This financial change negatively impacts Veek's ability to compete given his limited resources. But in 1976, on the opening day to celebrate America's bicentennial, Bill Veek reenacts the painting of the Spirit of 76 with 2 employees on the field, dressed in Revolutionary Army uniforms and bandages. Veek and his peg leg, with his peg leg rather, plays a fife. No?
I don't really know what that means. I don't know what this painting looks like.
So, I think it's the famous statue where they're like, it's the colonials like raising the flag.
Oh, okay.
I think it's that. And
Okay.
he's sat there playing a tune on his leg.
Got you. Well, I'm back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
The entire 1976 White Sox season is filled with a stream of stunts and promotions, including belly dancers, parades of horses and cattle, random prizes, players wearing Bermuda shorts for some games, and a 53-year-old man playing DH for one day. I don't know what DH is.
No, don't know, but that sounds good. I like the Bermuda shorts idea.
Yeah. White Sox attendance increases by 20%, but Vic still struggles to afford free agents as players' salaries double over the course of 3 years. Now we're going to jump to a different setting at this point. We're going to jump to radio. Steve
Okay.
Dahl is working as a disc jockey for the WDAL in Chicago. Or it might be AI. It might be AI, actually. Yeah, it's AI. WDAI in Chicago, when stations switch from rock to disco.
Okay.
Christmas Eve, 1978, Steve Dahl is fired from the WDAI as a part of the station's format change to disco, and Dahl is hired by a rival album rock station, the WLUP. Dahl, sensing an anti-disco backlash and leveraging his public firing, creates the Insane Coho Lips, an anti-disco organization composed of his listeners.
I'm sure it will, but I'm really struggling to see where this comes into Madman Veek's plans.
Dahl and his broadcast partner, Gary Myler, initially known as Matthew, relentlessly mock and attack disco and Dahl's former station, calling it the Disco DAI and promoting the slogan, Disco Die.
The
Slogo. Dahl's fan club adopts the slogan, Disco Sucks.
Okay.
Sure, straight to the point. Dahl starts holding small anti-disco rallies for his Insane Coho Lips fans. This guy just doesn't like disco, but he is really against it.
Yeah, okay.
At one rally, Insane Coho Lips fans are encouraged to throw marshmallows at WDAI promotional vans for a teen disco and chase it into a park. Another night, Insane Coho Lips fans occupy a teen disco.
Okay.
Violence breaks out in a valley when hundreds of Insane Coho Lips fans are unable to enter a promotional event, leading to fistfights and the police needing to be called. When disco singer Van McCoy dies suddenly, Dahl destroys his record, The Hustle, on air.
Sounds like a dick. We found our dick of the story.
Yep. Where was I? Oh, yes. So disco reaches its peak popularity around kind of the late 70s. But it also faces a lot of growing backlash, particularly from rock fans and events like the 1979 Grammy Awards, where disco artists start to win over rock artists. That only fuels the anger against disco. Anti-disco incidents occur in other cities, including Seattle, where hundreds of fans attack a mobile dance floor, and in Portland, Oregon, where a DJ destroys disco records with a chainsaw. Okay. We're going to go back to the White Sox. The White Sox have a lackluster season, and they've got low ticket sales. Bill Veek's son, Mike Veek, is the promotions director for the White Sox. 1978, Mike Veek receives a phone call proposing a dance contest at Comiskey Park, sponsored by Coke, with 25,000 children to attend the dance. It's a huge success.
I can see where this is going.
The next year, Mike Veek is told to listen to Steve Dahl on the WLUP, who is talking about blowing up disco records in a shopping mall.
Okay.
Mike Veek calls Steve Dahl and asks if he'd like to blow up the records at Comiskey Park instead. Dahl agrees, seeing it as an opportunity to draw a larger crowd than the mall would be able to handle. Previously rained out games between the White Sox and the Detroit Tigers is rescheduled as a part of a doubleheader on Thursday, July 12th, 1979. Do you know what I mean by a doubleheader in baseball?
Is it 2 games back to back?
2 games back to back. It can be, well, let's say back to back. It can be a few hours apart, but it's on the same day
Yeah.
with the same teams.
Okay. Sounds like a really
So
bad idea.
it's a horrific idea. That's got to be terrible for the athletes.
Mhm.
Mike Veek had already planned a teen night on July 12th with half-price tickets for teenagers, but Mike Veek of the WLUP instead planned for the Disco Demolition Night on July 12th doubleheader, offering admission for 98 cents for attendees who bring a disco record.
Okay, cool.
The collected records are to be blown up between games by Steve Dahl, and ticket price, 98 cents, matches WLUP's frequency on the radio, 97.9, rounded to 98.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm still trying to work out how Veek makes any money from what he does.
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be food and drink sales, but as long as he doesn't take any notes from 10-cent beer night, we're probably fine.
I mean, sounds like he probably could take notes from 10-cent beer night.
Maybe. Veek and the WLUP hope for a crowd of 20,000 people and higher security to cover 35,000. Good move.
They've learned from 10-cent beer night.
Yes. The previous night's attendance was 15,520 people, and Comiskey Park has capacity for 44,492. So they're kind of middle of the roading it, kind of giving themselves a bit of overhead.
Mhm.
In the weeks coming up to the event, Dahl invites his listeners to bring records to Comiskey Park. Bill Veek, undergoing tests in the hospital for his leg, has a bad feeling about the promotion and checks himself out. Bill is a smart man.
Yeah, okay.
Bill Veek's fears are confirmed when he sees fans walking towards the ballpark carrying records and anti-disco signs. The doubleheader sells out with 20,000 people being unable to get into the park, thousands sneaking in via leaping over turnstiles, climbing fences, and entering through windows. Official attendance is 47,795, but Bill Veek estimates it was about 55,000 people.
Okay.
All right. The Chicago Police Department closed off the expressway and off-ramps near the stadium because they need the space to move people.
Yeah.
Attendees are supposed to deposit the records in a large box, but once it overflows, many just keep their records.
Okay.
This will come up later.
I imagine it will.
July 12th, 1979. The first game of the doubleheader between the Chicago White Sox and the Detroit Tigers happens at 6 p.m. Central Time. Lorelei, a model for the WLUP, throws the first pitch. I don't know how you have a model for a radio station, but here we are.
Maybe they have a face for it.
Maybe. Mike Veek sends out most of his security personnel to stop people from sneaking in, leaving the field largely unguarded.
Ah, Mike Veek did not learn from 10-cent beer night.
He did not. Where are we? Fans begin throwing records from the stands like flying discs, with some sticking into the ground. The Tigers' designated hitter, Rusty Staub, urges teammates to wear batting helmets while playing.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Fans also throw firecrackers, empty liquor bottles, and lighters onto the field, and the game is stopped several times because of objects being thrown. Hand-painted anti-disco banners are held from the seating decks, and White Sox broadcaster Harry Carey observes groups of music fans wandering the stands and others intently awaiting for the explosion. Mike Veek noted the smell of marijuana in the grandstands, and Harry Carey and Jimmy Purcell also comment on the smell over the air. So it's a mess.
I mean, it sounds like a mess.
Crowds outside the stadium start to throw records into the stadium or burn them on bonfires. So now they're just throwing them over the building.
Jesus Christ.
The Detroit Tigers win the first game 4-1. At 8:40 p.m., Steve Dahl, a jockey and he doesn't die. Radio jockey and revolutionist, it seems. He gets onto the field, dressed in army clothes and a helmet, along with Gary Meir and Lorelei, and they circle the field in a jeep. They proceed to center field where a box of records is rigged with explosives and they wait. Dahl and Mia lead the crowd in a disco sucks chant. White Sox pitcher Ken Kravik, scheduled to start the second game, begins warming up the mound. Other White Sox players watch from the dugout wearing their batting helmets. Fans attempted to leave, finding it difficult, but they found it difficult to try and leave because security had padlocked all but one gate to prevent intruders. Dahl addresses the crowd, declaring it. Dahl addresses the crowd, declaring it the world's largest anti-disco rally, announcing the explosion of the records. Dahl sets off the explosion, destroying the records and creating a large hole in the outfield and sending shards of vinyl everywhere.
I mean, how could you not see that coming? What they've done is literally made a cluster mine in the middle of 50,000 people.
In amongst the excitement, thousands of fans, estimated between 5,000 and 7,000, rush the field, as most security personnel are still occupied at the gates. Ken Kravik leaves the mound and joins his teammates in a barricaded clubhouse. Fans climb up the foul poles, set more records on fire, rip up grass. The batting cage is completely destroyed. The bases are pulled up and stolen. One got Mike. Have you heard of the actor Michael Clark Duncan?
Yeah,
he was there, 21-year-old, and his belt was stolen, and he stole a bat.
Oh,
weird.
There you go.
Bill Veeck stands near where the home plate was and uses a microphone to beg the people to return to the stands while a bonfire burns in the center field.
Jesus.
But the bodyguards grab Lorelei and place her in the back of the Jeep. They're unable to return the home plate though, due to a crowd, and are driven out of the stadium through the surrounding streets before being taken back inside the press room. Harry Carey unsuccessfully attempts to restore order via the public address system like the tannoy. The scoreboard says, "Please return to your seats." That's ignored. And just like in 10-cent beer night, they play "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," which is also ignored.
Yeah, okay.
Some attendees dance around the burning vinyl shards. Steve Dahl attempts to help get the fans to leave the field, but his offer is declined. At 9:08 p.m., the Chicago police arrive in riot gear, causing the crowd on the field to disperse. 39 people are arrested for disorderly conduct, and injuries. So there's estimates of injuries ranging from none to over 30. It just really depended on who you asked. Bill Veeck wanted to play the second game after order was restored, but the umpiring crew chief, Dave Phillips, said that the field was unplayable due to damage.
Massive fucking hole in it and has been on fire.
It's also got shards of vinyl in it.
Okay.
Tigers manager Sparky Anderson refuses to let his players go to the field amid safety concerns. Phillips calls the American League president, Lee McPhail, who initially postpones the second game until the following Sunday. Sparky Anderson demands that the game be forfeited to the Tigers, arguing that the White Sox, as the home team, were responsible for the field conditions and due to an event that they were holding, made the field unplayable.
Yeah,
pretty reasonable.
I'm kind of on his side.
July 13th, 1979, so the day after, the American League president, Lee McPhail, forfeits the second game to the Detroit Tigers with a score of 9-0. I don't know where they got that number from.
Probably, no, I don't know.
But yeah, he basically sided entirely with Sparky's comments. Steve Dahl mocks the negative headlines in the local morning papers of the following morning's broadcast, stating that everything was wonderful except for the manic co-hos going onto the field. Tigers manager Sparky Anderson comments that the attendees were likely doing things other than beer.
Really?
You don't say.
You don't say. This is a lot for just some bloke who didn't like disco.
It really is. White Sox pitcher Rich Rotham states that this wouldn't have happened if it were a country and western night. So essentially just saying that...
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but he's essentially saying that Mike Veeck is directly responsible for this, which he kind of is.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mike Veeck, 1980, Mike Veeck resigns, following the repercussions as the front office promoter. Bill Veeck sells the White Sox after Mike's resignation. Mike really struggles to find another job in baseball, and he feels like he's been blacklisted. So he ends up going to work as a frontman for the Jai Alai in Florida. You know Jai Alai?
I have no idea what you just said.
It's that sport where they've got like the big. It looks like a large cup on the hand, and they whack it at the wall. It's a bit like squash, but with like a arm catapult.
Okay, I'll take your
Yeah.
word for it.
Sure. Let me have a look here. Disco around 1979 and 1980 started to decline in popularity for the first time. Steve Dahl claims that Disco Demolition Night hastened disco's demise, but also notes that disco was already likely on the way out. Some scholars and artists, including Dave Marsh and Nile Rodgers, view Disco Demolition Night as an expression of bigotry, referring to tones of racism, homophobia, and sexism, likening it to Nazi book burning, which... yeah, you can see the parallel.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Harry Wayne Casey of Kansas City and the Sunshine Band. Wait, no, sorry, that's me being dumb. That's me thinking of baseball. Harry Wayne Casey of Casey and the Sunshine Band does not believe the event was discriminatory, simply that Dahl was an idiot, which also likely.
Yeah.
So that was Disco Demolition Night. This was actually until I think about 10 years ago, the most recent game that had been forfeited in American Baseball League history.
Wow.
Which is something. Mike Veek actually ended up developing a bit of an alcohol problem, but he's overcome it and has since become the owner of a few minor league baseball teams. Great.
I thought you were going to say the White Sox.
Mike Veek's Charleston River Dogs held a promotion in July 2014 that involved the destruction of Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus merchandise.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he's entirely learned his lesson, but whatever. Steve Dahl continued...
but did they do it in the middle of a field with a bomb?
Possibly. I don't know. Steve Dahl continues to work as a radio personality, and he's actually still released podcasts to this day. Mike Veek, along with Bill Murray and other owners, own 5 independent baseball teams between them, which is interesting. Mike Veek runs a bunch of promotions with his independent team, including Umpires Night, Ball and Walk Drag, and trying to hold a vasectomy day on Father's Day, but it was cancelled due to religious opposition. He also tried to have dogs and pigs deliver baseballs to umpires. He tried to have mimes perform the instant replay for an evening. And once he locked out all of the fans from a stadium, trying to set the record for the lowest attendance.
This man is mental.
The Veeks are crazy.
I quite like him.
But that's about the story of Demolition Disco Night, or Disco Demolition Night, rather.
Thank you for submitting that, Josh. I enjoyed it a lot.
I was a big fan of the 36 live lobsters that were given out.
Me too. That was the best bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and the shrapnel bomb that no one thought would be a problem.
I don't know why no one thought of it being an issue.
Well, baseball do funny things to you.
It do.
Baseball do crazy. Tim.
Hello.
Have you ever heard of a man called Adriano Celentano?
No.
Adriano Celentano. He released a song in 1973.
Okay.
The song, and you're really going to have to do me some favors here and be kind about my pronunciation.
Sure.
Prisen Colin Tinanin Kyosol.
Okay.
That's the song name.
Yep.
I'm going to play it over the top here so our listener can hear it as well. Just a snippet of it. But for you, there's the link. Give it a little play. Skip to the middle a little bit.
Hang on, I've got a Burger King advert. Skip to the middle.
No, I'm like 30 seconds in.
Oh, I know this song.
Do you?
Where do I know
tell
this
me-
from? It might be someone like Baby Driver.
Tell me what you think. I don't know if it's from Baby Driver. It might be. I'm not sure.
I like this song. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know when it was released, Tim? It peaked in some quite high numbers in European countries' charts.
Oh yeah.
So Belgium, 4th and 2nd. They're 2 separate charting.
Okay.
2nd and 4th. Italy peaked at 5th in the charts.
Pretty good.
Netherlands in the Dutch top 40 was 6th, but in the top 10 singles it was 5th. And West Germany it peaked at 46th in their charts.
Good numbers.
Do you know what's really interesting about it?
What's that?
The name of the song itself and all of the lyrics are absolute gibberish.
Oh, it's just noises.
It's just mouth sounds.
I could believe this is like Italian or something, though.
But this is the thing. So to make it marketable, and there's something else quite popular that does this. To make it marketable, it's just gibberish, complete gibberish.
I think I know the thing you're gonna say, though. I think it's Haagen-Dazs, isn't it?
No,
The other one. I know. Well, I know that's what Haagen-Dazs did. Haagen-Dazs actually isn't a word. It's just a word that's like it's a word that like the parent company made up to sound vaguely Scandinavian.
no. The other thing is Pingu.
What,
That all of the
penguin?
language spoken in Pingu is intentionally gibberish so that they don't have to dub it for other countries.
I mean, that one's kind of a given, to be fair.
That's clever though.
Yeah.
And he does say newt newt.
Nut nut.
But yeah, I thought that that thing from Adriano Celentano, sorry, was interesting. I'll put some of it in the episode itself.
Very cool.
Yeah, very good. Right, Tim.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
Let's get our pub quiz. Done.
Anything you want to say for yourself?
Thanks for 100 episodes, everyone. Thank you. Wow.
It's fun and interesting. By the time you listen to this, we've fixed any issues that were on Apple Podcasts. You should be able to get these episodes there. But we should be up on YouTube Music. So if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber and you choose to listen to your podcast predominantly through YouTube, there's another avenue that you can listen to our stuff. So
Very exciting.
there you can subscribe to the Game Club podcast channel and you'll get all of our podcasts straight through to your YouTube Music,
Wow.
which we love.
That's exciting.
So, Tim, what was the goddess of love who held a mirror and a big floppy pink dildo?
That's the one. Do you want any more guesses before I give out the answer?
I really just have the name Athena in my head.
No, it's Venus for the Romans and Aphrodite in Greek mythology.
Aphrodite. What song is it that goes, "Make me your Aphrodite"?
Make so you wanna play with magic?
Only.
Dark Horse by Katy Perry.
Oh. She's a dark horse of an astronaut, if you ask me.
Okay.
There you go.
What a way to end episode 100.
Yeah, well, we had our Swifty special. This is our Katy Perry slander special.
The Katy Perry Power Hour.
The Katy Perry Power Hour. Right, Tim, anything you want to say? We've said it 100 times before. Let's hear it one more time.
Say that, you bastards.
Say that, you bastards. We'll see you in a week's time. Love you.
Bye.
Mwah.
Bye.